Hello, fellow YouTubers. Rakdos123 here. Today I'm going to be doing my deck profile on my Rakdos deck. It is casual play. I do want it to get better. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this deck. Let me know what I can take out to change this deck so it does get better. It is, of course, as I said, it's not standard play. There is a reason why it's not standard play. You will definitely see why when the time comes. So let's start with let's start the deck profile. And I'll explain, of course, why every single card is in there, why every card has meaning. So first off, we're going to start with the 2 key runes. Now, the key rune costs 3 to play, and it can tap for either red or black. Or, the nice part about it is that you can tap red and black to turn it into a 3/1 devil creature. I believe it is red and black, but it does have first strike, which is the main thing. So 3/1 with first strike is an absolutely great creature. Goes in there, gets rid of those, power of 3, and just rocks games. I do love it. It's one of my absolute favorite key runes out of all of them with the first strike ability. But that's really all there is to say about the key rune. Next, we have our Vishino here. The reason why he's in there, I do love draw support, and there's only a 1 of in there for the draw support. 2/1 for 3. Discard a card, draw a card. That's all it really does. Next, we're going into our Gore House Chainwalker. It is 2 for a 2/1 that can turn into a 3/run. That's all it does. He really just is in there to beat face. This deck has a really low cast cost, so it is really just a really small cast. Really get in there, beat face deck. Other than that, he's not really anything special. He just unleashes. Next, we're going with the guy that's better than him. He is, sorry, I'm really bad with the names right now. It is Splatter Thug, 2 for a, 2 in red for 2/2 first strike. Of course, I don't really have to explain first strike again. I just said about, the key rune with first strike. So, I mean, he trades with guys that's 2/2 or 3/3. 1 Blood Fray Giant. He's in there. He's a trampler. If you unleash him, your opponent is going to have to block him, and even then, you're still going to deal that damage due to trample. But I only run 1 of them. For our final, just pure red cards, we are using 3 Vexing Devils. You think of these guys as your just burn spells. 9 times out of 10, your opponent is not going to allow you to keep him on the field. So just think of him as a spell rather than a creature, and if he does come out as a creature, it's kind of a plus. But the nice thing about this, if you are playing it in Rakdos and your opponent thinks, well, maybe he has a Rakdos, like Rakdos in his hand, your opponent's probably going to allow you to get this guy out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for him. We got our black cards, and this, of course, will show you as to why this card or this deck is not standard, and that is 3 Stinkweed Imps. Originally at 4, but I decided to take 1 out. I cannot make a black deck without Stinkweed Imps. I just love that it has Flying and Death Touch and Dredge, allowing you to get it back to your hand. It has actually won me a lot of games for the stall aspect, because your opponent does not want to attack with their best creature, and because they know that if they attack, you're just going to block it with Stinkweed Imp, get that Stinkweed Imp back, and on your turn to play it, and just keep going rolling for game. So, I mean, that is why I absolutely love Stinkweed Imp. I do not really want to take him out, but if I do take him out, then the deck will be standard. Other than some of the lands, which you can just take out anyways. Next, we're using 2 Grim Roustabouts. Now, I kind of like this guy, but I kind of don't. I only like him for his regenerate ability. 2 for a 1/1, 1 black, regenerate. That's all he does, but sometimes you just need an answer to those creatures that you can just block and regenerate. So that's the reason why I'm using 2 of those guys. 1 Dead Reliever, whatever. 3 for a 2/3 or 3 for a 3/4. I'm only using 1, but I used to run more than 1 of this guy, and I found he was just so useful. I haven't made room in the deck though, because I do want those Stinkweed Imps. Of course, comment in the comment section below. Whether I should put more of these guys in there. I just found that a 3/4 that attacks in there, your opponent's blocking him, and most of the time he's always living because he's a 3/4. So I absolutely do love him. Next, we are using 2 thrill kill assassins. Sorry, hopefully I didn't have too much glare on those. But 2 thrill kill assassins. 2 for a 1/2 death touch with unleash. Really not much to explain. You know, death touch. Gotta love it. Next, we're using Underworld Connections. Now, Underworld Connections is a card, again, I absolutely love. You're paying a life and you're drawing a card. Sometimes you just need that draw support, and this card is great. You only paying 1 life. A lot of people think that, you know, paying life really hurts, but it's drawing you a card that can help you out. So, one of those. Next is a good favorite of mine, Desecration Demon. 2 of these guys, 4 for 6/6 flying. That if your opponent does not want to lose a creature or want to take the damage, they're going to sacrifice. And if they do have an answer for it, it has to be flying. So either way, you're getting rid of a creature or healing damage each turn with this guy on the field. Other than that, you know, he's just a spectacular card. I just love him. Next, we are going into the cards that have the hybrid mana. We are using 3 Rakdos Cacklers. Now, the Rakdos Cackler, 1 for a 1/1 drop, or 1 for 2/2 drop, which most of the time you probably are going to 2/2 drop him. It's absolutely great for the beginning of the game where you play it, and next turn you can just swing. Same with our next guy here. We got 2 Rakdos Shred Freaks. Again, as I said before, this deck has a very low cast cost. I love how this guy has haste. No, you turn 1 Rakdos Cackler, making him a 2/2. Turn 2, you go into this guy, you know, attack for 4. And then, you know, next turn after that, you can do some more shenanigans with your 3 cast creatures. So, you know, it works. It definitely works. It may not work for tournament level, but it definitely works for the casual. Next, we are using 3 Augur Sprees. I really wanted to put 4 in this deck because I absolutely love it. 3 to get rid of, you know, I mean, it's +4, -4, and it's an instant. So, I mean, this card, the reason why I love it, it can be used offensively and defensively. So, you know, they attack you with a big creature, you Augur Spree it. Or if your creature is big enough from maybe unleashing it, you can power up your dude after you attack them and they accept the attack. You Augur Spree them. Great card. The art is phenomenal as well. So next card, we are looking at 1 Rixmati Guildmage. One thing for me, I have to have 1 Guildmage in every deck. I have it in Golgari, I have it in Rakdos, and I have it in Azorius. I just love to have just 1. I find this guy is somewhat useful though, with the -1/-1 ability. If you have the mana to spend on something, and you can -1/-1 a blocking creature, perfect. It makes you get in there even more. So 1 Rixmati Guildmage. 2 Hellhole Flailers. I like this guy because you can launch him into your opponent. He is 3 for 3/2 that unleashes into a 4/3. Big creatures, small cast. That's it. Nope, still got some stuff left. We have next is Slaughter Games. Now, at first, I didn't really like Slaughter Games, but afterwards, playing with it a couple of times, I know I was playing my my wife's brother in a game, and he plays an Angel Jack. Again, you know, it's very kitchen table, and I called his Sarah Angel and ended up removing all 4 of his Sarah Angels from the game. So it gets rid of those cards you just don't want to play against, like Tristani, anything. You call it, it gets removed from the game. Brilliant card. I absolutely love it now, and I always play it at 1 though. Next, we have 2 Carnival Hellsteeds. My Little Pony from Hell. 4 black and red for 5/4 first strike haste. So it goes in there, gets in there really fast with its haste. First strike, so a lot of the time it's going to be the one surviving. You you unleash that guy, he then becomes a 6/5 Augur Spreeable. And again, first strike, just getting in there and rocking the game. Our final cards, we have 2 Rakdos' Return. Now Rakdos' Return, I ended up pulling 1. My wife's brother ended up pulling 1. Well, I really should be saying brother-in-law. My brother-in-law pulled the other one. So, I mean, these were pretty easy for me to get. I do love them because it discards and burns, which is an absolute great card. You know, late game, if my opponent does have cards in their hand, discard and burn. So, I mean, you cannot go wrong with Rakdos Return. Now, the one problem it is, or that it does have, that it is X. So a lot of the time, or maybe 50% of the time, you will draw and you will have little mana, so it may not have so much use. But I mean, discarding a couple of cards in your opponent's hand is never bad. It's never a bad thing. And our final card is Rakdos himself. I'm playing him at 1. 2 black, 2 red, 6/6 cannot be played unless your opponent was dealt damage this turn. Flying and trample, and when he deals damage, your creatures cost less. A lot of people don't like Rakdos because of he can become useless if you're not controlling that bard. Ooh, I've been playing D&D too much. If you're not controlling the board, if you're not controlling the board, then he can get stuck in your hand and become useless. That's why I'm only using him at 1. Other than that, we have our 9 mountains, swamps, and your basic lands that turn, like your Rakdos Guildmage and your Dragon Summon, as well as level crowd reaches. But that's not really important. That is the deck. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what I can do to make this deck better. I really want to make this deck better. Absolutely love Rakdos. Who doesn't want to bash face in more ways than one, especially with the Rakdos. Very fun deck to play. Very fun guild. Psychotic son of... Yeah, we're not going to go there. But yeah, anyways. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the deck. Give me some info. Tell me what to run at. The works. This is Rakdos123. Having fun with Return to Ravnica. Signing out.